Hello and welcome to the Standpoint. Thus the Lord has brought us the end of the year, 31st of December, and it's Friday. We are here. So you set goals for yourself, the year 2010. New Year resolution, January 1st, 2010. The year has ended. You didn't achieve all, or you didn't achieve any of them. So, are you giving up? Do you have to give up? What does it mean? We take a break. When we come back, I'll introduce our guest and we'll be looking at why, in fact, we'll be discussing why you don't have to give up, no matter what, no matter how the year 2010 has been for you. We'll be back.
Yes, active. You can clean stubborn stains as long as you've got Yes, active.
Hey! This clothes will be so difficult to wash.
Not with New Year's Active.
And what is so special about Year's Active?
New Year's Active contains enzymes which dig deeper and easily remove the most stubborn stains, leaving your clothes fresh and clean.
Stubborn stains making washing easier.
Hey, Year's works.
It is the enzymes in Year's Active. They work really hard, so I don't have to. New Year's Active with enzymes. No stain, no pain.
Pull up, Marcos baby pull up. Kiss her baby dry in comfort. Pull up, Marcos baby pull ups. Enough ventilation to keep your baby fresh. From napkins onto the diapers. Nice pull up, Marcos baby pull ups. Anti-style leakage with elastic waist, just like underwear. Keeps her baby smart and free all day. Pull up, Marcos baby pull up.
I always use First Choice Gold. It's the best American long grain rice and it's tasty. Correction. First Choice Gold is very tasty. For everyone. First Choice Gold, the best American rice.
Welcome back to the Standpoint, the very last edition for the year 2010. It is the 31st day of December 2010, and we're going to discuss why you don't have to give up. And seated right opposite me is a right woman to be here on this right day, this right evening, this right time. Madam, she is Comfort Ocran, the CEO of Legacy and Legacy. Hello, it's a pleasure having you on the Standpoint again.
Thank you.
Today, the beats, I'm jealous, but it's cool. It's 31st, so it's cool.
You know.
Next to Comfort is Debra-Jane Nelson, who is an event coordinator. Good to have you on the Standpoint.
Thank you.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Yes, so you are ending the year with us, and you enter the year 2011 with us. I believe so.
Thank you.
Okay. And next to Deborah is the Reverend Mrs. Nanaya Owusu-Prempeh. She's a CEO of Tenaifa, and she is a director of Mary Kay International, and also the CEO of Spirit, Soul, and Body Workshop. Right. It's a pleasure to have you once again with us on the Standpoint. Now, let me start with you, Deborah. Did you set goals for yourself 2010?
Well, 2010, I was starting the year giving up. I did not even set goals.
Right.
I was packing off the burden from 2009.
Right.
I was giving up. It was in February that I thought, no, I shouldn't give up that easy. I should give myself another try. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. I'm ending the year quite well. And I know that next year, which is from tomorrow onwards,
Right.
there are better things to come.
Right. Wow, that's interesting. You entered the year almost giving up,
Yeah.
but then you gathered momentum, then decided to set goals for yourself and pursue it, and now you are happy you did.
Yes, definitely.
Right, we'll get into that later. What about you, Comfort? Did you set goals for yourself?
Well, I did. I did. I looked at various aspects of my life, like my spiritual life, my physical life, my mental life, set different goals depending on what I wanted to achieve at the end of the year. I did very well in some. There was some, you know, that needed a little piping, but all in all, it's been a great year for me.
Right. But you didn't achieve everything.
Not everything, but
Right.
I'm very happy with what I was able to do.
To do.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. What about you, Reverend?
I did whatever they said because I fall into both of what they said.
Right.
Because the end of last year, I was fully pregnant, and I said to myself that, well, listen, when I say pregnant with ideas,
Yes.
full of vim, you know, vigor and wanting to do so much before the year. I thought I had, you know, waited for so long. I wanted to do so much. And I did quite a few. I'm very happy with what I did. What I did was more than what I couldn't do. But I know that with God on my side, from tomorrow, I get another chance because He's a God of chances. So whatever I wasn't able to do, it's going to be a new beginning for me.
So you didn't achieve everything. You set goals, but you didn't achieve everything. But you're happy with what you achieved.
Yes. There are some that I didn't even set that I achieved.
Right.
And those that I set, I couldn't achieve everything.
Yeah.
But at least I'm happy.
Right. Cover the things we didn't plan for but happened to us.
Yeah,
Normally we don't count them. We only look at the goals we set for ourselves, and then we are either able to achieve or we didn't.
Yeah, but you see, sometimes it's within what we'll say God's plan, because He knows that you need some platform to achieve something in the future.
Right.
So He brings those things your way as well, so that you'll be able to do what you said you would do. But He knows that in the future, coming maybe 2 years' time, you would need a particular platform to be laid. And therefore, He brings those opportunities your way.
Right.
But because you have at the back of your mind that, well, I want to, in the end, be able to have done so much. When those opportunities come, you realize them as opportunities and you seize the moment. And so if you've not made up your mind to get anything, well, then really. But if you've made up your mind to get things and then you see other opportunities coming along the way, you just grab them quickly and just add it to your basket.
Right. Right. So it's okay if you don't achieve all your dreams.
Oh, it is definitely okay. Apart from God, whose yes is yes and His nay be nay, and He's encouraging us to do yes and no, we are fallible. There are things, some obstacles come our way, things that we may not have planned for, things that we say, okay, suppose the road is supposed to go this way, and unfortunately there's a roadblock. What happens is there's a roadblock, and therefore, do you say then that is it? You get me? So yes, you can do a lot, but sometimes too things just don't go the way you want to you want it to go. There's nothing wrong with that, but the main thing is don't give up.
Deborah, do you think it's possible for you to achieve all your dreams?
Never. I don't think so.
Or to achieve all your goals, the goals you set for yourself?
You must be very determined, persistent, and ambitious to do that. You can be easily sidetracked, but we have a God of... I always say my God has a sense of humor.
Oh, yes,
He
He
always
does.
sneaks in little surprises here and there that either diverts you off the path for a reason or helps you to overtake other vehicles on the highway.
Right.
So that's how I say it. Yes, you can achieve all your goals, but it takes a lot of, like she said, a lot of vim and vigor to do it.
Now, Reverend, I asked you the same question. I mean, is it possible to achieve all your goals, the goals you set for yourself?
Yes, it is. It's possible. I believe it's not going to come easy. When you asked me to come on the show, I prayed to God that, God, give me something that I can give to the people, the audience, the viewers. And the word that I got was, assess your life. You need to sit down and assess your life, you know, like, you know, look at yourself. You have been in 2 marriages, it's still failing, and you're always blaming the person on the other side. Assess your life. Sit down and value yourself. What are you doing right? It can't be people all the time. You know, so if you
Is it
set
that you're
goals,
making the wrong choices? Is it that you yourself, you're doing something that is not right?
it can be one of many things, Gifty, but the truth of the matter is, it's easy to blame somebody and be free, you know, but if you don't wait for the doctor to stop you from eating to get fat, and you cut it down yourself, you save yourself trouble. The same way, you don't wait for people to point fingers at you that what you're doing is going to ruin your life, but you find it necessary to assess your life by yourself, because you see that whatever you're doing is failing, and you are still blaming other people. Everybody can be wrong for you to be right, you know, so it's time for you to let go of what is gone. Don't cry over spoiled milk, you know. There is more ahead of you than what is gone. Like I told somebody this morning, the people who love you are more than the people who hate you. Obviously, you will get bad things going on in your life. You
Sometimes
will get challenges.
it feels like the people who hate you are more than those who love you.
That's the way it looks like, but I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, you can find yourself in such a situation that you might think that
everybody
those who
hates
hate
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the way you feel.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is. It's only unfortunate that we glorify bad things, we glorify evil things, we glorify disadvantages more than advantages, more than breakthroughs, more than successes, you know. When you do good so many times and you do one wrong, the wrong will overshadow the good things, you know. So I believe that if you get to a point where, like today, the end of the year, and you lock up yourself in your room and you cry because you set 5 goals and you weren't even able to achieve one of them, and instead of asking yourself, what did I do wrong? You are putting blame on your mommy, your daddy, your husband, your wife, your children. What about you? You know, what could you have done differently to make you get to where you got to? I believe that people might have been part of the reason why you couldn't achieve your goals. Yeah. But you should have also played a role to that, why you got to that point.
Deciding that you will not listen to these other people.
I'm telling you.
You will not look up to them.
Gifty, what we hear every day, the good things we do for people, we don't hear them. But do one wrong. You are not perfect. You do one wrong. That is what will be all over the news, all over the air, everywhere. Even your church will sideline you.
Right.
Yeah, because you've done one wrong thing.
Right.
You know, but I believe that that wrong thing shouldn't determine your destiny. Your destiny has been predestined by God that you will get there. But you need some people to support you. They're not going to make you get there, but they're going to help you to get there. And they cannot stop God from making you get there. So don't sit in your room tonight, 31st night, shut the doors to the world, and cry yourself out because your husband left you at the last minute, your children don't call you, your money is finished, your business got burnt. So what? There is life ahead of you.
You're still alive.
You're still alive, you're still breathing. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Let me take a break. When we come back, we'll take the issues one by one. The Standpoint is brought to you by Yaz Active Detergent with enzymes, removes all stubborn stains and keep your clothes clean and fresh. It's also brought to you by Marcot Baby Pull-Ups, the best way to teach your child and help him or her feel fresh all the time. It's proudly supported by the African Women's Development Fund. My dress is by Chris Ware and my beads by Lepifania. Our makeup by Papa Cosmetics. We'll be back.
Over the past 10 years, AWDF has been working hand in hand with women's groups across Ghana and Africa. AWDF has supported over 800 women's groups in 42 African countries to the tune of $14 million. In Ghana alone, AWDF has disbursed over $2 million in grants to 87 women's groups in all regions of the country. Many of these grantees are small-scale groups initiated by women who seek to provide a better life for themselves, their families, and the society at large. To support the work that AWDF does, please visit our website at www.awdf.org.
Afropolitan style, Aquaba, Afropolitan decor, Afropolitan solution, elegance, Afropolitan spice, Afropolitan cuisine, Afropolitan passion, Afropolitan signature, the African Regent, simply Afropolitan.
Welcome back to the Standpoint. Is it an issue of cover? Sometimes we set too many goals for ourselves, or we become overly ambitious in setting goals for ourselves within a year?
Well, ideally, if you're going to set a goal, I mean, if you're going to set goals for yourselves, the first thing is to look at your long-term goals. That's the ideal state. Look at your long-term goals. What would I like to achieve in 5 years' time? Or even if you can be ambitious enough, in 20 years' time. Well, I want to have a house, I want to have a farm, I want to have 2 businesses, and so on and so forth. Okay, so between now and the next 5 years, what would you like to achieve? So you write that one down. Now, to get your house, you need to have land. To get the land, you need to have some money. And therefore, so we start from the long, we work our way back to first the short. So given this year, what can I achieve within this year to put me in a good position to achieve my long-term goals? So you have your long-term goals, you do your short-term goals. So therefore, based on the fact that I want to be a doctor, I must make sure that I do my science lessons and then pass well. So your short-term goal is that this year you make all A's.
Right.
That is your short-term goal. But however, the whole of last time, you really didn't learn.
Right.
And therefore, if you say you're going to do all A's, it's going to be a miracle. And therefore, look at where you are before you shoot your goals. I mean, there's no need building a castle in the sky and saying that God, it shall happen in the name of God. I always say that it's little by little that the fly is the dog's ear.
Right.
So let's not presume that once you set a goal, it will achieve by itself. No, you need to work at it.
Right.
But be content to work little by little at it, and you achieve.
Right, that is about setting the goals for 2011. But let's do a reassessment of this year. The people who set goals, they didn't achieve it, and it can be so devastating that somehow, if you're not careful, you can't set any more goals. You can't even dream anymore, you know. But Deborah, let me pry a bit. What made you nearly give up 2010, beginning of 2010?
Well, I had moved back from England, leaving my family, my friends, and I had quite a good job. And I left it to give Ghana a shot.
Right.
And everybody was like, why? Why are you going? Your mother's there, your father's, everybody's there. Why are you going on your own?
Right.
But one thing that I kept hearing in the spirit is, you were there before you came. And my child, if you go and it doesn't work out, you can always come back. And that was one thing. I was like, if I go and it doesn't work out, I can always come back.
Right.
So in January, I was prepared to come back. And I got to Ghana in May 2009. I got a job with a medical laboratory. And it was really tough for me. Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, it was hard, really hard. And I was now finding a church that I was comfortable in. And in December, I just left my job and I said, you know what, January, I'm going. I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of crying, calling my mother. And the more I call my mother, the more depressed she is getting. And is it fair on her?
Right.
It's not. And then my father's worried. So I thought, you know what, I'm going. So my family came to see me in December for Christmas. And when they left in January, I was going back. I fasted for 2 weeks. And I said, God, I'm going. Tell me, should I or should I not? And then
this is putting God to test.
Oh, yeah. I said, oh, I was serious. We were bargaining on this one.
Right.
I said, God, no, you have to stop me. Should I not? I bought my ticket 2 days before, which was my birthday. I said, you know what, I'm just going to go for a holiday and come back. So I went for 2 weeks holiday, came back, and out of the blue, this events coordination company that I started, it was just a friend, because I was doing that for the lab, and I did that a lot in England. But it wasn't something I wanted to do for as a career or for 2010.
Right.
A friend called me and said, somebody wants to have an event in Takwa. They called me, but I said, I have a friend who is really good. Call her. So he called me, and I did it. And from that event, phone calls, phone calls. And this was, I came back from my holiday on the 12th of February. A week later, it was just people coming from Nigeria to say that they're having an event on 6th March. You see how God works?
Right.
It was just one thing after the other, things I wasn't even hoping for or planning for. So I decided to register my company, and a lot of people say, why mahogany? It's wood.
Right, yeah.
Psalm 1 verse 3 like a tree planted by the rivers of water, shall bear fruit in its season. The leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever I do, I shall prosper.
Amen.
That's why I named my company after a tree. And I was looking at all the tree names. I said, Yendra won't work. Timber won't work. So I'll go for Mahogany.
Yeah. Right. Wow. Yeah. That's an amazing, testimony there.
Anything that succeeds must depend on God.
Yeah.
We haven't received anything that is not from God, which is good.
Right.
It's all good things come from above. See how God works.
Yeah.
When I have my workshops, I teach about the 3 Ds equals to D. D plus D plus D equals to D. Determination, diligence, and discipline will take you to destination. So this is the time for you to gather your energy, gather your strength, gather your courage. Be brave, be bold, and get out from that misery, that life of misery that is making you look down on yourself, that you are nobody. Everyone around you thinks you are nobody. But the God who created you knows that even if you have one eye, that one eye will take you somewhere. Don't look down on yourself.
Don't look down on yourself. Sometimes comfort, we've done everything. Christians, we go to church, we pray, we do everything. We look up to God, and we get so disappointed because the things don't come. But from what Reverend is saying, I get the bit. Yes, God is there, you do, but you also need to do your part.
Oh, definitely. If you've seen the baby and you have fed the baby, you have washed the baby, you've taken care of the baby, give them the baby all the love, tender mercies you can think about, and the baby doesn't stand to walk, there's no way he or she can walk. God has given us everything we want to succeed in life. The part that you have to play your part. God is not going to write the application letter for you. God is not going to take the phone and ring that particular gentleman for you. God can tell the particular gentleman that I want you to do something for her or for her. But until she picks the phone to make that call, that thing is not going to happen. So God has his role to play, and honestly, he has done it even sometimes far more than he's supposed to do. But if we ignore our part of the bargain, if we ignore our part of the agreement, it's just not going to happen. And therefore, I'd like to urge all our listeners today, you must be able to take your destiny into your hands. You were the only one that was giving birth to you. They didn't give birth to the whole of Ghana.
Right.
Or the whole of the world. They gave birth to only you. And therefore, you have to play your part to fulfill your purpose in life. Nobody can fulfill that for you. God will give you the grace. But you have to take the challenge for yourself and work at it.
Wow. You have to take the challenge, and I believe that you started, now you're sitting up, you wiping your tears and getting challenged and motivated to do what you need to do to move on and become better in the year 2011. We'll take another break. When we come back, Deborah, sometimes it's you can go so low that getting up is a problem. The Standpoint is brought to you by Yas Active Detergent with enzymes, removes all stubborn stains and keep your clothes clean and fresh. You see, Yas can remove stains, stains, Yas, and detergent can remove the stains. So the stain in your life can be removed by God.
Yes.
You need to play your part as well. It's also brought to you by Makot Baby Pull-Up, the best way to train your child and help him or her stay fresh all day. It's also brought to you by African Women Development Fund. We recall that the African Regent Hotel, My Dress is by Chris Ware, Beats as usual by Lepifania, and Our Makeup by Power Cosmetics.
Stubborn stains as long as you've got Yas Active.
Hey, this clothes will be so difficult to wash.
Not with new Yas Active.
And what is so special about Yas Active?
New Yas Active contains enzymes which dig deeper and easily remove the most stubborn stains, leaving your clothes fresh and clean.
Stubborn stains making washing easier.
Hey, Yas works.
It is the enzymes in Yas Active. They work really hard, so I don't have to. New Year's Active with enzymes. No stain, no pain.
Pull up, Marcus baby, pull up. Kiss your baby, try in comfort. Pull up, Marcus baby, pull up. Enough ventilation to keep your baby fresh. From napkins onto the diapers. Nice pull up, Marcus baby, pull up. Anti-style leakage with elastic waist, just like underwear. Keeps the baby smart and free all day. Pull up, Marcus baby, pull up.
I always use First Choice Gold. It's the best American long grain rice and it's tasty. Correction, First Choice Gold is very tasty. For everyone. First Choice Gold, the best American rice.
Welcome back to the Standpoint. Deborah, sometimes you can go so low. The fact that you failed or you think you failed can bring you or can take you so low that even getting up to take the decision to make up your mind, I'm going to try again, is so difficult.
First of all, hanging on to God. And then secondly, this is when the people that matter in your life, their existence in your life is most important. If you're lucky, or I shouldn't use lucky, if you are blessed with a family that whether you are low or high, they are there for you and they are honest with you and they'll hold you along, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. But I always have God on the other end of the line. It's still not easy for me. It's still not easy. In the Bible, now I would not quote, so you would have to help me here. I know somewhere in the Bible it says a man without a dream is dead, or a man without a vision is dead. So, and I always pray, God, please bless me with vision. If what I'm doing is not adequate or is not enough, add vision and give me the strength. Your grace was sufficient for me. So I just live by that. And I used to have lots of friends, you know, and they used to take most of my time. As soon as I'm done with what I'm doing, I call them. Oh, what are you doing? Let's do the. But now I don't even bother with all that anymore. I do what I have to do in town, see my clients, my vendors, do what I have to do. If it's early, go home. Spare time, pray, do other things. And you find that the free time that I have, it's become a routine that even the free time is invested in things that, you know, even recently I did a course with Flair. Now, I have an MBA in international business. I did an advanced diploma in Christian theology. People say I'm well educated. What are you doing again in Flair? What are you, don't you know how to cook? Right. And another prayer that I always say, God, please move me from this bitter place to a better place. That's one line that always, I never give up on that one. God, please move me from this bitter place to a better place. You give me a tongue that tastes sweet things. Right. So I should not be tasting bitter things. Right. I always say that to myself. And, you know, I can communicate with God in such a way that it's like... It's as if he's standing in front of you. There. And I look at myself and I start laughing. I'm like, what am I doing? Someone will think I'm going crazy. Right. But I do.
Comfort, what do you make of the attitude that Deborah has? She's a young, single woman, you know.
I mean, she's blessed. I mean, somebody who acknowledges the source of his or her blessing, acknowledges her role that he or she has to play, and realizes where she wants to go, is blessed. But I just want to add a little bit. One of the things that helps people to come out of the state of, I didn't do anything and everything is lost. One of the things that you could do is, you need to shut the door. The door of failure is there. If you keep on looking inside that failure and looking at all the negative things that what people said or what people did, and therefore you keep on building the hurt and bitterness in you, you are never able to move ahead.
Right.
And therefore, her prayer, take me from this bitter place to a better place. Do you get me?
Yes.
So shut that door. Look in front of you. What are the possibilities in front of you? And sometimes we think that I don't have anything. We have a nursery rhyme. Count your blessings. Name them one by one. You may be somebody who has at least an education. There's somebody who has no education. So you're better off. You may be somebody who has friends like her. So at least you can go to her. Somebody does not have any friends. So count those things that really you did not really place emphasis on. You didn't really realize they play any role in your life. So count those things. You are in a bad situation. You are moving to a better place. So what do I have? Where do I want to go? What do I need to go to where I am going? I need this. Do I have the necessary resources? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Where can I get it? Who do I see to get those resources to be able to do that? And therefore, systematically, as you are encouraging yourself, Bible says that David came, everything had been wiped out in the camp. They're taking their wives and children away. And the most important things, the people that support you, were ready to stone him to death. The only thing that he did was he encouraged himself in the Lord. Therefore, when you are really at that state where it seems like everything is against you, you have gone for the best interview that you knew that you could give, and you have been ignored. You've been told that no, it's not going to be, and you've cried. Is allowed to cry. But after you cry, you encourage yourself and say, this is not the end. This is not where I'm supposed to end up. And therefore, I will do better. What should I do? How do I go? Where do I go? And ask those questions and answer those questions. And listen to good music, listen to the word of God, listen to motivational speakers, because it lifts your spirit up.
That's the way to lift yourself up. Don't give up. You know, one group of people who easily give up. Women. Sometimes we get so devastated, so disappointed, we give up.
As you speak, Gifty, my heart is beating so fast because I feel for people who have gotten to that point that you just described, where a good woman will end up falling into the hands of a wicked man, or a very proactive, a very outgoing woman, a very industrious woman will fall into the hands of a very abusive man. And then all of a sudden, this woman's world is crushed and she's shut into a shell and she can't even look in the mirror and admire herself because the man tells her, you are fat, you're like a pig, you are this, you are that. And because the woman, unfortunately, is one who always awaits the endorsement of a man, she's always awaiting for the man to pat her on the back. See, I know, and I know that whenever a situation comes your way, life is full of situations, issues, challenges. You can't avoid it. It doesn't matter if you're poor or you're rich, you meet situations. I believe that the principles of life are the same everywhere. Whether you live in Ghana, whether you go to the United States or United Arabs or whatever it is, the principles of life are the same. Put God first, put family second, put your career third. Get yourself to know that there is a God who created the world. There are people who don't believe there's God, but the Bible calls them foolish. Get to know that there is a God and put your family second. It doesn't matter if you're not married, you don't have children. Family can be people who love you. Family can be your church. Family can be people who are there to support you. And then you put your career third. The moment you reverse this arrangement, you get challenges that it will be very difficult to climb. I'm not here to preach, but I'm here to encourage you.
It's 31st night. From here, we are going to church. Preach on.
I'm here to encourage you as you listen to me. Whatever is past, Paul said, one thing I do is to forget about the past. and you fight towards what is ahead of you. You cannot fix the past, but you can determine the future from the choices you make today. So as you know that you want to go to school, there is no one in your family who has been to the university. Give yourself that chance that I am going to break that curse in my family. I'm going to be the first person to go to the university. No one in your family has lived over 40 years because of diabetes or blood pressure. I want you to gather yourself this evening and say, I will be the first person in my family to fight that battle of blood pressure and diabetes in my family. Don't wait for the doctor to stop you from eating what is killing you. Be smart and play your priorities right. Africa likes to put dead bodies in ambulances when sick people are lying down. The priorities of Africans are overturned. Don't be a victim. Be someone who will put the right things first. Put your God first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all other things. All other things means money, children. It doesn't matter how long it takes. The Bible says that the promise will come. Even though it tarries, it will surely come. Even if yours takes 10 years, it will come. Mine took 1 year, but it came. Yours may take 10 years, but don't give up on it. Because there is light at the end of the tunnel. And remember, hold to the garment of the Lord. Hold on to his garment.
Now, Deborah, from you to young ladies like you and single, you know what I mean, in there. You know, sometimes it can be so bad, the pressure, you know, why everybody's getting married, you know, around you and all that, and yours is not happening. And it's like, people give up. You know, so much young people with potential, but they give up. They see you, Deborah, and I say, how can you do? You're a single woman, so don't you feel lonely? People say this. How do you move on?
For instance, on the marriage topic, I always say, I'll rather wait and get married for the right reasons than rush and get married and be miserable. I say it all the time. Older women might maybe, again, I'm blessed, my parents are still together after all these years. I know people who are divorced. You know, and one thing is, I do not want to get married to get divorced. So I want to get married for the right reasons. That time that you're using crying about, oh, when I'm single, this, and use it to invest in your life. If you want to do additional courses, learn. I mean, do things. Appreciate what you have. God could be saving you from a disaster. That is why he's taking his time with you. So there's no point, like me, I don't let marriage pressure me, oh, I'm single, and what? I'm not the only girl who is 28 and is single in Ghana here, so I'm not going to be miserable about it. And I don't see why my colleagues and my friends should be. Again, I'm not looking for a rich man either. That's another thing. Young girls are like, oh, I want a rich man to marry me. Why don't you get yourself rich? So that would be a bonus, an addition. So it's important to look ahead of what it is now. So I would say to my friends and people my age, do not rush. God's time is the best. Free time, invest in something that will improve your life. That is all I can say.
Reverend, your final way.
Final words
31st
are always dangerous. So. Well, I believe that you have heard enough from these beautiful ladies. Whatever you had planned before we came on air this evening, I know that the Spirit of God has touched you. God has descended in his mercy. Whatever you think you did so evil that you deserve to die, I know you have changed your mind. You did not decide who can be your friend, your brother or your sister, but you choose your friends. So choose the right friends. Change your environment. Change your decision tonight and see what tomorrow has for you. I guarantee you, put God first. Tomorrow is guaranteed. Let me see you next year with your head up, because the lifter up of our heads is on your side tonight. Don't be like you were yesterday, because you are a new person today. Tomorrow, sing hallelujah. Let the bygones be bygones, and let tomorrow be a bright beginning for you.
But sometimes you need the support systems. Deborah talked about having a family that supports you. And sometimes for me, throughout 2010, I've done programs where I've cried out. I've really been quite maybe tough on pastors, because for me, I think they should be our source of support,
Doing
our
better.
source of inspiration. But you go to a church, when you are down, the church neglects you. Your family neglects you, your friends neglect you. What do you do?
Did God neglect you?
Good point.
I mean, it says, God is the one that walks into the room when everybody else goes out. And therefore, things may have been tough for you, things may have been hard for you, and it seems as if nobody else was on your side. But this is the point where you go to God, who is your source, and cry to him. When all the stakes are down and there's nobody to be found, God is there. And when you rely on God, you can be sure that no matter how dark the atmosphere is, no matter how hopeless all is, there is someone who cares for you. And he will take you through. It may not, doesn't mean that when God is there, you will still not go through the storm. You will go through the storm. But you would have him there beside you. And he would comfort you, he would lead you. Man can play a role, but that is all man can do. God will always be there for you. And therefore, I'd like to encourage your listeners that no matter what, don't give up on God.
Thank you very much. Now, I feel like crying too, but shedding tears too. But because sometimes it can really get bad. It can feel so lonely, so lonely, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot.
Believe God, trust him, and as things are going bad, just keep on talking to him. That's the way to talk to God. Sometimes we think that we have to kneel down and pray. No, to me, God is like my father. And therefore, anytime I just talk to him, Daddy, as for today, Daddy, so I really could identify what, talk to God. And when things are bad, cry to him, do everything, and look out for his salvation, because his salvation is there.
Amen. And after this, you can go to church. After watching this one, you can go to church with a positive attitude. The last day of the year, 31st, you're no more going to the church to cry and weep, God, why me? You're going to the church to pray and thank God. Cry and say, God, I have today. I have seen today the many people who started the year but didn't end. You are here. No matter your situation, you are here. You have 31st night, 31st December 2010, and I believe that you will have 1st January 2011. Thanks for keeping faith with us. Thank you for watching The Standpoint throughout the year. We hope we've been of help to you, and I believe that this last episode for the year has also been a source of inspiration to you. God bless you. See you next year, and trust me, if I can still lift my head high, you know what I'm talking about. You can also do it. I believe in myself. I believe in you. So please believe in yourself. See you next time. Bye.